Hello everyone. Here is today's update on Hurricane Lee. Hurricane Lee is continuing to struggle amidst an environment characterized by persistent southwesterly wind shear. Hurricane Lee is currently centered about 280 miles northeast of the northern Leeward Islands. Lee is moving toward the west-northwest at 9 miles per hour. Maximum sustained winds are 105 miles per hour. The minimum central pressure is 958 millibars. There have been no changes to the overall forecast philosophy for the next few days, with a large ridge of high pressure expected to remain anchored north of Lee, keeping the storm on a slow west-northwesterly track through Wednesday. On this track, the core of the hurricane will pass well north of the Leeward Islands. Dangerous surf conditions will impact the islands to the south and west of the hurricane, as well as Bermuda early this week. By midweek, Lee will begin to turn more toward the northwest and north, as a trough amplifies over the eastern U.S. and the high to the north of Lee begins to break down. Confidence remains low regarding the timing and location of this turn. As stated previously, Lee continues to struggle. Southwesterly shear has persisted over the system, and while convective bursts continue over Lee's center, the core has degraded and Lee has weakened. Most of the model guidance indicates the shear should relax, and conditions should become conducive for at least modest strengthening during the next few days. Lee will likely become a major hurricane again on Monday or Tuesday. Thereafter, the storm will be moving over somewhat cooler sea surface temperatures, and wind shear is expected to increase once again, and this should result in gradual but steady weakening later this week. The longer-range forecast for Lee remains complicated, and in fact, the spread amongst the ensembles for late this week has actually increased. Lee is expected to move northwest, and eventually north over the western Atlantic to the west of Bermuda late this week. Models differ significantly on the speed of the system at that time, as well as the track. On the western side of the guidance, some models suggest Lee will impact the northeastern U.S., while the eastern side, several solutions show Lee turning to the northeast and east well south of Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. This is a complicated forecast, and there is a high degree of uncertainty regarding Lee's path and any impacts to land later this week. All interests in Bermuda, along the U.S. East Coast, and in Atlantic Canada should closely monitor the progress of Hurricane Lee. Be sure to stay tuned for future updates. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this content, kindly subscribe and enable notifications to stay updated on future weather alerts.